Hello everyone, welcome back, and thank you for joining us on the Live Unreal with Glover U podcast, where every week, Jeff Glover will dive deep into the questions that you are asking. He understands the challenges you are facing on a day-to-day basis because he still works every day on the front lines of real estate, with him and his team closing over 1,000 homes per year. On this episode, we'll go over Step 17 in the Glover U Sales System, creating and delivering an unreal experience. In this step, you will learn from Jeff how to use an unreal experience to grow your business. Now, let's hear from Jeff Glover on Step 17 and the 20 steps of the Glover U Sales System.
Creating and delivering an unreal customer experience. Creating and delivering an unreal customer experience, which, as you heard yesterday, this was I had to have a come to Jesus meeting with myself. This was an honest area where we didn't put a lot of time and effort into it. I mean, we had great people and we had good agents and, we did things right. We played by the rules and we thought we gave good service. But here's where it shifted and it became our number one source of business. When we made a decision to focus on it. When we made a decision to say, okay, what can we do every year to improve this? And still, every single year for the past 3, 4, I think we started this 5 years ago maybe, we've looked at areas to improve the overall customer service, which, oh, by the way, has helped our agents get more repeat and referral business. Because it's not just their personal customer service, it's the company's customer service. So we've actually helped our agents get more repeat and referral because the experience that their clients feel is better. An area that I missed the boat on for a long time, and I'll take responsibility for that. So, hence the reason why it's one of the 20. You heard the question yesterday. If you didn't write it down now. We look at this question every year. What can we do, implement, change, add to make sure the client never has to call us first? What can we do, change, implement, add so that the customer doesn't have to call us first? By the way, we're still figuring that out. We don't have the answers. We have some answers. We don't have all of them. However, if we're consciously aware of that every single year, guess what happens? We're constantly improving the customer experience, which is what's leading to repeat and referral business being our number one source. I wrote down, remember, and I didn't believe this, by the way. I believe it now, and that's why it's part of our system. Customer service is actually a way of prospecting to build a business. Most of you have never heard me say that before, because I didn't believe it. Until I saw it. Until I saw how it works. Customer service is actually a way of prospecting and building the business. Now, here's the deal. Promise me you're not going to walk out of here saying, this is great. No more prospecting, just give good service. This is awesome. I'm definitely coming back in the summer in Traverse City. No. Prospecting fills the funnel. Lead follow-up pushes them through. Out the bottom comes closings. Successful experiences comes referrals, which puts it back in the funnel. So we still have to constantly feed the funnel. So I would look at every step in the listing or buying process and figure out where your clients are going to have questions or issues. And do it every year. "67 pain points we identified, I mentioned yesterday, in a transaction. 67 opportunities where a client can reach out to us for something from start to finish, from the initial appointment all the way to closing. 67. You don't have to figure it all out in 1 year. Take 5 a year, 6 a year, 3 a year. So let's take a look at some guidelines for delivering good customer service. I wrote down number 1. Good customer service requires constant communication. Good customer service requires constant communication. If we were just to sum up customer service in this industry in one word, it would be communication. Obviously, there's a lot of other things that we have to do to improve the experience. But if you think about the number one complaint from consumers about their previous realtor or their previous transaction experience is the communication experience. Number 2, guidelines for delivering good customer service. We have a habit of over-promising and under-delivering. So let's reverse that. I wrote down, we have a habit as real estate agents, as salespeople, especially the personality-based, we have this habit of promise, 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 promise to get a contract signed, to get a listing, and then it doesn't sell, and we've overpromised. Try doing the opposite. I wrote down, consider using a 5-star program, and I'll explain to you what that is. Consider the 5-star program. Have a great client. You had a good transaction. Reach out to the client. Ask them about their transaction. Ask them if they would go online and review you. And in exchange for that, send them to dinner. We call it a 5-star program because there's 5 areas that we want us to, want the review to go, right? Zillow's number 1, Realtor.com, Google. Yelp is 1. I don't even think we do Yelp anymore because it's crooked. I mean, let's be honest, they only show the bad ones. But we send them, and of course, in the beginning, before we created the 5-star program, we only focused on 1, and it was Zillow. And we did that because we knew that that's where most consumers were going. Now, if I only had to focus on 1 or 2, it'd be Zillow and Google. And today, I think we have almost 1,000 reviews on Zillow from making that a focus. And sending a lot of people to dinner for their review. I wrote down a rule in customer service. Always follow the golden rule. Always follow the golden rule. Treat everyone as you would want to be treated. Simple. I wrote down, remember, customer service is actually a method to grow the business. Now and into the future, the higher level of service, the more referrals you'll get. And the more referrals you get, the less prospecting you have to do later. That's one nice thing about this business. As time goes on, you don't have to spend 4 hours a day on the phone. Now, you will have to continue to spend 4 hours a day on the phone if you're not delivering good customer service. So, year 1, it might be 3 hours on the phone. Year 2, it might be 2.5. Year 3, it might be 2. Year 4, it might be 1.5. Nobody should be doing less than 1.5, by the way. 1.5 to 2 is always what I recommend. But as time goes on, the business will increase without your prospecting increasing because of the service that you provided, if you make it a conscious effort to provide good service. We actually reward that in our organization. We give out an award to the agent that has the highest customer service rating. We track it. We have boards in our office with all of the agents' customer service rating. It's now part of our culture. We're aware of it every day.
Thank you for taking time to join Jeff today on the Live Unreal with Glover U podcast. To take the real estate self-assessment that begins the Glover U sales system and have a member of Glover U get on a call with you to create an action plan to improve your score, go to www.gloveru.com/self. If you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe. Search for Live Unreal with Glover U on iTunes, Podbean, or Spotify, and subscribe today. Until next time, remember, what can you do, implement, or change so the customer doesn't have to call you first?